The 6 to 7 Figure Show, episode 17. Ready? Let's hit it.
Broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun outside Phoenix, Arizona. This is the 6 to 7 Figure Show. Tired of working so hard and having no time? Take your six-figure practice and turn it to a thriving seven-figure enterprise. And now, your host, author, speaker, mentor, and strategist, Frank Bria.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 6 to 7 Figure Show. I'm your host, Frank Bria, and I'm joined today by Clint Arthur, a good friend and celebrity entrepreneur, the #1 best-selling author of What They Teach You at the Wharton Business School, as well as The Speaking Game, 7-Figure Speaking Secrets Revealed, Celebrity Entrepreneurship, also a book. He and his work inspired the featured documentary Celebrity Entrepreneur, an official selection in 10 or more film festivals and competitions. Clint transforms experts into celebrities in the eyes of customers and prospects using his mathematical formula for impact, influence, income, and celebrity expert author personal brand. Thank you for being with us, Clint.
Thank you. Both of us are excited to be here.
Yes, exactly. I don't think that many people, get around in the entrepreneur space without seeing your face someplace.
I hope not. That's the point. Yes.
That is the point. All right. Hey, question. Should every entrepreneur get themselves on TV? Like, is this for everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Only people who want to break out and actually make money, and instead of like scrabbling for crumbs and eventually saying it didn't work out. If you want to be one of those people, then don't go on TV. But if you want to be somebody who makes a lot of money and is successful and happy and becomes somebody who has impact, influence, and income, then yes, you should go on TV.
Well, okay. So I didn't mean it to be a complete softball question. I mean, so are there folks though, because I know there's definitely some people who are like, man, TV just doesn't feel like me. Like, I just don't feel like it's my style. Is that something that, like, are there really folks who like, you know what, it's probably not a good thing for you? Or no, you really need to like learn the style and get a hang of it and figure it out?
It's really a little bit bigger question. It's really the question of, do I want to be a celebrity? I don't really want to be a celebrity. I really prefer to be in the background. I prefer to be behind the scenes. You know what kind of people tell me that? I met a lot of those people at this conference. It was called a advertisers conference. And It was for these guys who were doing forced continuity on questionable herbal supplements, you know? Like, that's all that was there, right? These are the kind of guys that are getting their merchant accounts shut down every 3-4 months and they have to keep running, you know? Those are the kind of guys who should be in the background. You know, I understand that's why they don't want to be in the front, because they are running. But if you're not running, if you want to be found, make it easy for people to find you.
Oh my gosh, that's so hysterical. I never put two and two together. I mean, I rail against that kind of entrepreneurship, the basically the continuity, because I hate the term continuity program. It drives me nuts. It makes entrepreneurship feel like those guys who just want to charge like $9.99 on your credit card every month so that you ignore it and you like don't think about it at all. And you put two and two together. That's exactly the point.
Those are the guys. If you're not one of those guys, if you're a person who is an expert at anything, right? Whether you're an expert at water or bagels or stem cells or financial advisor, or you're any kind of an author of any kind of book whatsoever, if you want to be found, then I say make it easy to be found. Like my mentor, Dan Kennedy. I'm big into mentors, right? I mean, hasn't mentorship accelerated your progress? That's what I told Brooke Shields on the Today Show. They said, you know, we can have all these plans. We can want to climb to the top of Mount Everest, but how do you stay from losing your way? And I said, invest as much money as you can in mentors, because they will make it all possible if you get a good one. Don't get me wrong. You got to find a good one. But, you know, my mentor, Dan Kennedy, he says, make it easy for people to give you money. That's a good thing, right? Yeah, make it easy for people to find you, and then make it easy for people to give you money. That's what I try to help my clients to do.
Right. So I want to talk a little bit about the TV appearance thing, because obviously that's one of the things that you talk about. And one of the things that I've heard you talk about is really for those people who are just getting started in trying to achieve this celebrity status, that local TV is kind of the key for that. Talk a little bit about what does that mean, and why is local TV the key?
When I spoke to the first publicist, like when I finally quit smoking pot and got enough self-confidence to hire a publicist to get me on TV, I said, I don't care what it costs, get me on the Today Show. And she laughed at me. She's like, Clint, you're a middle-aged guy nobody's ever heard of. You got a self-published book nobody's ever bought, no TV experience. They're never going to put you on the Today Show. You got to go on little shows on local TV. I said, like local TV, get me on NBC New York. I'm a native New Yorker. When she stopped laughing at me the second time, she's like, look, Clint, that's the same as national TV, #1 market in America. You got to go on little shows in little tiny towns and work your way up. And maybe one day, if you can make, they don't start a Broadway show on Broadway. They start the Broadway show on Cincinnati, Ohio, and Salt Lake City, Utah. And that's where my first appearance was, in Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah. And that's what you got to do, because really television is showbiz. And, you think you know how to go on TV. I've seen a lot of TV. How hard can it be? It's not so easy as you think. And you got to learn how to be a good guest on TV and work your way up. So local TV is the perfect place to do it. And really, it doesn't matter. People see you on Fox, Amarillo, Texas, and they have no idea that that's not Fox News in New York City. Really, they don't. Right. They just see Fox. And that's like, wow, you're on TV. And then you do that like 10, 12 times, and you go to the next conference, and everyone's going to come over you and be like, holy cow, you're really making it happen, because you're posting those videos on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. You're talking about them every place you can. You're using them. You're referring to them and making something out of nothing. Like, for example, Ice-T, right? Ice-T and Coco. They're going to be speakers at my conference at Carnegie Hall in September. And he produced a movie called Something from Nothing. That's what we're trying to do as entrepreneurs. Am I right, Frank? We're trying to make something out of nothing.
Yep, seriously.
And as much nothing as possible. My goal as an entrepreneur is to invest as much nothing as I can into the product and get as much out of it as I can. Ideally, it's going to be like, just words. This ebook, the ebook version of this cost me $0 to deliver. That's a great product. Yeah. It's just words, and I get $100 every time somebody buys an ebook.
Right. Right. And you've got like 8 of them, I think, at last.
I got a lot. I got
a lot of books.
Yeah.
No, I really, that's something that really resonates with me. The first time I ever did TV was in Tucson, Arizona. For me, it wasn't that far of a drive, but it was definitely an out there market. But I've been on stage for years and years and years giving speeches. And I thought, what is this? I got to be honest, like, it's a different game being on TV. It's, you do have to kind of know what you're doing. I was a little bit on edge. I was a little bit like, all right, how's this game work? You definitely need practice with it, for sure.
I've been on TV in Tucson like 5 times. And not even that long ago. Just a couple of years ago, I was on TV in Tucson. I was on TV in Palm Springs, California a couple months ago promoting my new movie, because it doesn't matter. I post that one. I posted that one on my Facebook because it's like my 106th TV appearance, I think, or 107th. And I brought my dog on the show. Everybody loved it. It was a great TV appearance. Everybody loved it.
So how long did it take you to actually land that Today Show appearance? Because haven't you been on Today at this point?
I have. I've been on the Today Show with Brooke Shields and Willie Geist. That was my 57th television appearance. It took me 3 years to score 57 TV appearances. Nice. But I invented the wheel with this whole thing. My students are achieving much faster results. I got a girl, Lisa Good, who's out there on the circuit right now. She just did her 35th television appearance since February. Yeah. And it's only a few months ago. Since February, 35 appearances, and she's booked herself in New York City 2 times already off cold calls.
Yeah.
So, when you have the right mentor, it just accelerates, it just goes so much faster.
Yep, absolutely. So let's close the gap between the publicity and the actual, like, the monetary stuff, right? Because a lot of people think, oh, well, that publicity sounds really great, and we know all these, like, best-selling authors who basically have their garage full of books who, like, literally don't do anything. How does an entrepreneur close the gap between, okay, I've got this publicity. How do I leverage the publicity to actually build the business?
Do not expect to sell your books to the people who are watching the TV show. You take the TV show video and then you use that as a marketing video, and it helps you to sell more books.
Yeah.
You put the video on your media page. Your most important page is your media page. Most people don't even have a media page.
Right.
Your media page should be lined up with videos of you on TV news and talk shows,
right.
of articles of you in all different major publications and on all kinds of websites and on all kinds of podcasts. You know, it's funny. Everybody's got the link on the front of their page of their website that says, see Brendan Burchard. No, listen to Brendan's podcast, right? So you click that and it takes you to the Brendan Burchard show. Right. You click the link on mine and it says, listen to Clint's podcast, and it takes you to my page, which has me being interviewed on 40 different podcasts.
Right.
Those are my podcasts.
Right.
although I wanted to, look, everybody says you got to have a podcast, and it's true. Podcasting is a really great thing.
Yeah, sure.
But, another thing Dan Kennedy said, he goes, here, I think I have it right here. This is one of the many binders that I got from attending Dan Kennedy seminars. Man, where is it? God. It said, the quote is, if everybody's doing it, don't.
Yeah.
If everybody's doing it, don't. Now, how do you deal with that? Like, look, podcasting is a great thing. It opens you up to having intercourse with a lot of different people.
Sure.
I've gone on a lot of podcast shows and enrolled a lot of hosts into my work and made a lot of money being a guest on podcasts.
Sure.
I can only imagine how great it is if you have your own podcast show, how much money you can make.
Yeah.
Fantastic, because you have your own media.
Right.
I wanted a podcast show, but I didn't want a podcast.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, my radio show premieres on 77 WABC.
Oh, I did see that.
Talk show station in New York City.
Yeah, it's at 7:70 a.m. in New York.
Right. And of course, it's also a podcast.
Right.
So,
it's called like what? The Greatest Show Ever? Is that what it's called or something like that?
The Greatest Show of All Time.
The Greatest Show of All Time. There you go.
Yes, the Greatest Show of All Time. And they sent me, oh my God, listen to the intro. Like, I'll play you the intro music that they sent me. This is going to play before every episode of the show. It's freaking crazy. Here you go. Listen to this.
Oh, that's the Greatest Showman music. Yeah. Of course. I would expect nothing less, Clint.
And now, here's your host, Clint Arthur.
Awesome.
And it goes on from there, but that's going to be
awesome.
pretty cool on real radio and a podcast at the same time.
Right.
So,
well, look, it's a mathematical, it's like you said, it's a mathematical formula. If you have a podcast, you have an audience that you reach out to over and over and over again. If you're on 40 different podcasts, you've reached 40 different audiences. Like mathematically, that's, different.
I don't have the same relationship with them that you do.
Still.
But
Yeah.
I'm everywhere.
Right.
And people have heard me all around. And look, I wanted to have the platform like you have with your podcast. I wanted to have my own platform. That's why I went after and got this radio show. And I really needed it to promote my upcoming event called The Living Legends of Entrepreneurial Marketing at Carnegie Hall with my mentors, the great mentors, Dan Kennedy, Michael Gerber, author of The E-Myth, Martha Stewart. I wanted to take my game to a new level. I've worked with a lot of celebrities, and I've had the most interesting man in the world. I've had Suzanne Summers. I've had Caitlyn Jenner last year at my Harvard event. And I wanted somebody who was just like super solid, who's really seen it all. And that's Martha Stewart. And then I wanted Coco and Ice-T. I got Coco and Ice-T coming. That was a lot of work. My wife is so in love with Coco. It's like crazy. And, Jerry from Ben & Jerry's, The Smartest Man. You ever watch Scorpion on CBS?
Oh, yeah.
He's got an IQ 197. He's coming as one of the speakers. Hal Elrod, The Miracle Morning, and Steve Larson, the top funnel hacker at ClickFunnels, made 500 funnels for Russell Brunson. Princess Marianne Parker, and Dylan Howard, the editor-in-chief of the National Enquirer, whom I recruited for this off LinkedIn.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the event. Like, what's going on? Like, obviously it's star-studded, you got everyone there, but what's the purpose? Who should attend, and what's going on?
Hey, if you are an entrepreneur or a small business owner or a business owner and you want to get guidance from people who have been doing this, making money on their own for decades, that's what's going to be there. I said to each one of them, if you were going to die and your kid came to you and said, what should I really do to survive and thrive as an entrepreneur over the decades, the timeless wisdom that's going to guide your kids to success, what would you say? And Dan Kennedy's bringing his wife, his daughter, and his granddaughter to come and see him speak at Carnegie Hall. What people don't get is that Carnegie Hall is the legendary venue. When performers perform there, it becomes legendary. Yeah. Andy Kaufman, there's an album of Andy Kaufman's performance there. It's called The Legendary Performance at Carnegie Hall. And that's what is going to be brought out by having this intense venue for these living legends to all come and share what they've got. Of course, the VIPs can get photos with all those celebrities. I mean, right now it's early enrollment. A VIP ticket's only $29.99, and you get pictures with Martha Stewart, Coco and Ice-T, Michael Gerber, Jerry from Ben & Jerry's, Dan Kennedy. I mean, all of them. Yeah. And the value of those photos alone. Look, man, I've paid $25,000 for some of my celebrity photos in the form of a donation to a charity. And that photo makes me a lot of money. And this Martha Stewart photo and Coco and Ice-T one will make lots of money for the people who get them.
Yeah. Yeah. You have made a living out of your face showing up in lots of places and showing other people how to make their face show up in lots of places. I mean, that's this idea of being on a legendary stage or being someplace that creates instant credibility. That's been behind a lot of the stuff that you've done. I mean, getting people to speak at Harvard, right? Getting people, I think you did something. NASDAQ, right? I was going to say, right?
Yeah, you've seen anybody you've seen speaking at NASDAQ, they're my clients, okay? Right. Except for Grant Cardone. See what happened was I saw Grant Cardone speak at NASDAQ and on the Jumbotron. I'm like, I want that. See, I do what I want for me. And the smart people who are in my orbit grab it while they can get it, because these things don't last forever. And I know there will never be another Living Legends of entrepreneurial marketing with this lineup. That's for sure. I hope there will be another one, but not with this lineup.
Yeah, you'll have a different set of folks. And this is clearly a star-studded group. So for those who want to get information about that and how to get there, where should they go?
livinglegends2019.com.
Okay.
livinglegends2019.com.
And when is this event?
This is September 26, 7, and 8 in New York City. You should be there.
Great.
Excellent. And look, anybody who sees this on the Frank Bria high ticket program, right? If you enroll and then you text me and say, hey, I saw you on the Frank Bria high ticket program podcast. If it's before June 15th, I will let you enroll for the general admission, which is $19.99, and upgrade you to VIP, which gets you all the photos.
Nice.
And VIP networking lunches and a dinner cruise in New York City Harbor, which alone is costing me a lot of freaking money. Okay, it really is. That'll be all included. Just tell me you saw it on Frank Bria's podcast before June 15th, and I'll let you get the general admission and upgrade you to VIP. Hey, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's great. So because sometimes these things do make it out into the world after this event is over, if people are listening after the event is sort of gone, how can they connect with you otherwise?
ClintArthur.tv. Clint like Clint Eastwood, Arthur like the King, .tv, because everybody needs to be on TV.
On TV. There you go. I love that. Arthur like the King, of course. That's awesome. Good for you. Hey, I know you're super busy. Thanks so much for making time for us today to chat about this. Definitely go catch this event. That's quite a star-studded group you've got there. I know Clint personally. I've seen the events he does. He always does an amazing bang-up job. The publicity generates is amazing, so I highly recommend it. Definitely go do that if you can. Clint, thanks so much for being with us today. Really appreciate it.
Great to see you, Frank. Thanks for accommodating my schedule. And by the way, this book, Celebrity Entrepreneurship, hardcover and ebook, is included in the general admission ticket. That's a $100 value for the hardcover, $100 value for the ebook, and the dinner cruise. All of that, $19.99. Grab
Awesome.
it while you can get it.
Awesome.
Okay?
Awesome.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks so much. And thanks everyone for being with us on the 6 to 7 Figure Show. Go take check that out. Clint really is very good at what he does. And I really do believe that publicity is a huge key for entrepreneurs these days. And go do it. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us. Take care. We'll see you next time.